Okay, so this is now showing you the while loop as well as a for loop in terms of pseudocode. Now, this may seem complex, but I'm only going to show you the structure of how you write it, and that's pretty much it. In terms of while loops and for loops, there is going to be lesson on iteration later on, but again, this is just to show you how you write it. Now, this is part of a larger pseudocode. In fact, just to show you it's here, but I'm not going to ask you to look too much in detail on that part. We're just going to look at this little section here. Now, in terms of this section, we've got it starts off with the word while, which means that we're trying to keep something doing, yeah, for some time. Now, while allocation, which of course is must be a variable, yeah, and we'll talk about variables in a different lesson as well. But whilst this particular thing is this, the greater than sign is equal to 0. So what we're saying here is, if something whilst it's greater than 0, keep doing this. Okay, so that's literally all I need to know in this instance. While a particular thing, you put your condition here. It could say equal to, less than, greater than, whatever the thing is. Remember, in my previous one I said not equal to a particular password. Then you can keep doing what's inside of this block. Now, what we mean by a block is to indicate that from this top part to this end part, this is being done. Now, in this one, it's quite interesting because whilst that's the case, we're also putting another loop inside this loop. So what we're saying to ourselves is, we're putting in there the loop, a for loop. So we're saying to ourselves, a for loop that says for each line in a particular thing, then do this. Now again, interestingly, we also then put an if statement in that. So if a particular thing is true, as in if this is equal to that, then take this particular action. So all of that, the key thing you need to take away from this is a while loop would start with a condition and it would have its end there. So this relates to this. Okay, so this line relates to that. Everything else inside of it will keep happening until this condition here is met. Alright, and then in the for loop, everything from here to here will keep happening, yeah, until this condition is met. And then in an if statement, everything from here to this point again would happen based on the condition here being true. So that is the general gist of how you'd write loops as well as if statements in pseudocode. Now, if you're not sure of all of those, there will be more examples later on.